Alright. I finished that episode and I am halfway through the next episode. And I have confirmed it. The writers suck at freaking writing. Like, godly. Alright, let me catch you up to speed. So, Kristen has a mother, singer mom. Don't know what happened. Oh, the dad, they separated, but they don't go into details on why or whatever. Why her mom and her dad separated. So, make a long story longer. Dr. Townsend starts seeing Kristen's mom behind her back. And obviously her mom doesn't know who Dr. Townsend is. And they, are in the puppy dog phase. And she's really falling for him. Because the devil has his charms. And she finds out that them two are seeing each other, and she threatens Dr. Townsend, even gives him a cut on the neck, and then she acts like a parent to her mom and forbids her to see Dr. Townsend and doesn't give an explanation why. Like, what is this? Like, my 6-year-old can come up with better writing than this. I forbid you from seeing him. I'm not gonna tell you why. Anywho, later on in the episode, she explains to him why, but not very goodly. Says he's a psychopath, shows him a recording of him, which is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very enticing. No, not enticing. Whatever the word is that means, you're looking very guilty. Whatever that word is. English is hard. So at least she has some physical proof, that she can hear, but her mom doesn't believe it for whatever reason, which is crazy because Dr. Townsend says some wild ass shit. And then she goes and does the thing. I forbid you from seeing him, and this is why. At least she's telling her why this time. And you can just tell, and it doesn't make sense because they've only been on like 2-3 dates, it seems like, at the most. And one of the dates got cut in half because Kristen found out. So they haven't been on many dates at all, and she's falling hard for this guy, and it's just like it's hard to wrap my brain around, like, why is she falling so hard and why she's not believing the evidence. Like, if one of my family members said, oh, this person's sick, here's some audio proof, and I still don't believe it, like, it doesn't make sense, writers. It don't make sense. So she meets up with Dr. Townsend again, tries to explain, like, hey, I can't date you anymore because of my daughter. Not because you're a fucking psychopath, because my daughter doesn't want me to date you. Anyways, make a long story longer. I bet you can already guess in the comments. Type in the comments what's gonna happen. Yeah, because this stuff is predictable. So, for whatever human nature is, she decides to go against what she's told to do. Like a freaking 5-year-old. Oh, don't do that. And, the kid's gonna do it because that's just human nature. You tell somebody not to do something, they want to do it even more. So, Dr. Townsend was like, okay, I get you don't want to date me anymore. Can I have one more kiss? They kiss, and then that ends up being more stuff, if you get what I'm saying. Grown folk stuff. And they wake up in the bed together next morning. So, you know what that means. So typical freaking crazy. Okay, so that was the wrap up. See episode 6. Now I'm on episode 7, like 9 minutes in, and God, this show just irks me. Like, I get you're supposed to have stuff. You can't give everything up front. I get that. But it's just like, it also has to make sense too. Like with, like logically, like in the real world, not in this. I mean, because it's fantasy, it's a show. I get it, but they're portraying it to be realistic in the sense of like, if we lived in this show, you know, if we lived in this universe that they're creating, like, this is how people would act. You know, it's not like, you know, it was portrayed that in this world people are dumber. No. These are regular folks like you and me, you know. So like, I don't understand like why a 50, 60-year-old would act like a 5-year-old. It doesn't make sense. And why, if you keep running into the same evil person that you know your friend knows that same evil person, why would you not be like, yo, I keep running into this person? It doesn't freaking make sense. Literally, I go to work and my coworkers tell me about a customer that pissed them off. Like, I come home and I got a family member telling me, you know, somebody pissed them off on the road. Like, people want to share shit. It is just so anti-human with this writing, like how they don't want to share the information at all. Come on. So that's what I'm saying. The writing just doesn't make sense for this show. Here's another example. So 9 minutes in, Season 1, Episode 7, there's this Asian woman who God speaks to, and she can give out prophecies and stuff like that. The church is trying to figure out whether she's a true prophet or a false prophet. They don't want her to be true because what she prophesizes is pretty much the end of the world type stuff, you know. So they sit down with the Vatican, you know, the Pope's Secret Service, and they're asking, you know, the Kristen and David to investigate her or whatever, and, you know, their findings of her, if she's real, is she legit, you know. That's a headache and a half, you know. Kristen, obviously, for whatever reason, kind of believes her, but then she doesn't. She portrays that she doesn't, but then she also acts on the prophecies that was prophesied to her. So if you're not going to believe her, don't believe her all the way. Like, don't wishy-washy. That's another thing. That's not even the point I was trying to make, but it just dawned on me. Don't be wishy-washy with it. She told her, like, to watch out for red, and then ever since then, she hasn't been wearing red clothing, stuff like that, whatever. Red earrings, anything red, even her kids, whatever. And it's just like, if you don't believe her, so then why are you acting on it? Like, okay. Anywho, so she tells the Vatican she doesn't believe anybody can, you know, foresee the future, blah, blah, blah. David's like, yeah, she's a true one, you know, she's a true prophet. There's this other guy named Ben I didn't get into in the first video. He's like the tech guy, also super non-believer. But the crazy thing is, Christian, we don't know this yet in the show, or, you know, we as an audience and she as a character, but she has been chosen for whatever reason. You know, I can prophesize it, you know, because the story script isn't hard at all to try to figure out, but she's connected deeply into like what's gonna happen, what's gonna go down, and more than likely is gonna prevent you know, the evil side winning. So that's that. And that's why all this weird spiritual stuff that, oh my God, like a normal person would put 2 to 2 together, but for whatever reason, this character, the writers don't want it to be realistic of like human thinking to put together. It's like, how can you be so smart but yet so dumb? It doesn't make sense. That's what frustrates me about this show. It's just the plot holes in the writing. Okay, where was I? As they're dealing with the prophet girl, they get another assignment to go check out this person that's being possessed by a demon. The demon is saying that he murdered a boy, and then the church was like, David, Ben, Christian, can you go and see if this is a real person being possessed, somebody pretending, or somebody who has a mental illness? Pretty much that's the whole premise of the show right now, is that them three are a group and they work for the church and they're trying to figure out, you know, is it real, is it legit, or is it a hoax? Or mental illness. So this new assignment on episode 7, trying to figure out this demon killed anybody, you know, if the person's actually possessed. And so she happens to know somebody in the what department is that? You know, the police department that investigates murders, whatever that's called. Can't think of it right now. She happens to know somebody that works in that department, and she meets up with them, and she was like, hey, by any chance, have you heard of such and such? And of course, because for whatever reason, the writers want to make it super easy, you know, like we only got 40 minutes to work with in this episode, so we gotta hand feed you all the information. We can't work for it. She knows of the case and she starts spilling details and stuff. See, that's what I'm saying. So this detective or whatever is just willingly giving out personal information about a case. You know, I thought that was like wrong or illegal or, you know, whatever. But willingly sharing, proving my point. People want to share. And then Kristen is not sharing back of how she knows of the murder. And then her friend was like, hey, okay, I've given you all this information. You haven't given me nothing back. Fine, just be careful. You know, I love you. You're my friend. I don't want nothing to happen to you. And that's where I just stopped, you know. Like I said, it's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed. This show is so frustrating. How convenient. She knows somebody and they know of the case. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done right now. I'm pausing the show. I'm going to bed. This show's aggravating me. Like I said, it has potential to be a really good show. It's just that the writing is very inadequate. Like, y'all need some better writers. Not saying, you know, I'm not a writer. You know, this is just my opinion as a viewer. You know, trying to get sucked into it. I have no writing skills, abilities. You know, storytelling, didn't go to college for that, you know, so take my opinion with a grain of salt when it comes to that type of stuff, but definitely take my opinion with a big ass boulder when it comes to enjoying shows and viewing them. I get everybody, you know, opinion is different, viewpoint on like shows and stuff, but I don't know, maybe it's a little cocky of me, or maybe I'm just confident in my skills as a viewer. I'm, you know, like stuff that's really good and popular, I agree. Stuff that kind of sucks, I agree. not to say that I sway with popular opinion, but you know, without hearing all that noise and watching the show for yourself, taking it in, or a movie, and a lot of people are saying the same stuff, then it's usually pretty right, you know? If a lot of people are saying it sucks, then it sucks. If a lot of people are saying it's good, it's good. That's just how common opinion works among humans. So when it comes to stuff like that, I want to say my opinion is very valid, but that's just for me to say. Y'all let me know if you have watched this show or is watching this show. Please give me your feedback. Let me know down in the comments. I really want to know, am I like just far off, you know, from the points I'm making, or am I hitting the nail on the head? I need to know. So thank you for your feedback. Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, and then I'm gonna keep following up with this show and keep y'all guys updated. You know, if enough people enjoy this content, I will keep making more. So yeah, good night, deuces.